Okay, all right, so today we are going to talk about, in our Unit 3, Lesson 3, we're going to talk about adding and subtracting decimals, okay, which is actually, it's the skill that's required to add and subtract decimals is really no different than the skill you would need to acquire in order to add and subtract just about any number. Okay, so let's talk. What are we doing? So adding, subtracting fractions focus on one thing. You have to line the decimals properly. So let me demonstrate this to you in the first example. So in the first example, you got this, right? And so typically, the wrong way to line up the wrong way to solve this would be to do this, right? The decimals aren't even lined up. So what are you doing there? So what you would need to do then, in other words, is to line up the decimal, meaning if this is 1.452 and the second number is 1.4, that's what you're doing, okay? The decimals here have to line up. Maybe I'll use a different color. Decimals have to line up, okay? Having said that, now, if you're also wondering at the same time that you got these two spaces here and what do? You just put zeros there, okay? So these are called placeholders, right? Place meaning the place, right? The decimal place, tens, hundreds, thousands, right? The holder means to kind of hold on to that spot so you don't accidentally slide it over to the right, like I just demonstrated. So 2 plus 0 is 2, 5 plus 0 is 5, 4 plus 4 is 8. Bring the decimal down, right? That's why you line it up. 1 plus 1 is 2, and there you have it. That's the answer, okay? So that should be pretty straightforward. Now let's do another question. Number 2. This is 7.368 minus 1.15, like so. All right. Again, placeholder. Now I lined it up already, right? Without even thinking, okay? So you subtract, so 8 minus 0 is 8, 6 minus 5 is 6, 3 minus 1 is 2, and then you got, that's it, okay? Nothing crazy here. Now, where it might get more interesting is if you, even though I don't even think the third one's gonna happen, it might get more interesting. Now, you can think of this in two ways, right? If you got a bigger number, right, like a 2-digit number like this, you can add it like this, where the 2.372 is on the top, right? Or you can do this, 14.04 and then 2.372. Now, in this case, you would add that placeholder 0 here, and then you just keep adding, all right? Now, where it also happens is you're gonna do some carrying over, all right, which you should all be familiar with. So 4 plus 7 is 11. Now, I think typically in the United States, people put the 1 up here, okay? I grew up where I put the 1 down here, okay? So whenever possible, I'll try to do it the American way, I suppose, all right? Even though sometimes that's a bit disorienting. So 4 plus 7 is 11, so 1 plus 3 is 4, 4 plus 2 is 6, and that's it. Okay, one more and then I'll let you practice. So the last one is 1.1 minus 0.03. Okay, so here you add a 0, right? Now here you gotta borrow, and I know what you guys do in the schools. You would cross this out because you're borrowing the 1 from here, so you cross this out, that becomes a 10, and then you cross that out, and that becomes a 0. okay? So let's see, 10 minus 3 is 7, 0 minus 0 is 0, obviously. All right, and then bring the decimal down, right? 1 minus 0 is 1, okay? And you can double check it thinking about it, right? 1.10 minus 0.03, you bet 1.07, okay? All right, let me scroll down a little bit, show you 3 examples to try on your own, and that'll be it for today. Let's see. All right, so try these 3 on your own. So pause right now and then press play and I'll show you the answers. Okay, and we're back. So let's do this then. Now I know that 345 is the larger number, so I'll place it on top. For some reason, I think most of you will be more comfortable doing that. Okay, so here, this is what we have. 9 plus 0 is 9, 9 plus 1 is 10, so I think you guys carry the 1 up here. Bring the decimal down, right? 1 plus 5 is 6, 6 plus 3 is 9. 4 plus 2 is 6, and then you got 369.09. Yeah? Okay. All right, second one. Let's see, 22.029 minus 3.05. Okay, there might be some borrowing involved, and that's good. All right, that's good practice. So add a placeholder 0 here. 9 minus 0 is 9. All right, now this gets interesting, right? Because this is the 12 here. So you have to borrow 1 here. There's nothing to borrow, so you got to borrow that from the 2. So you have 12 here, right? And then what would happen? Think about that. What would happen then? All right, so pause for a second. Think about it. What would happen then? All right, because now you can't even, so you can't borrow from this guy, right? So you got to go over and borrow from this guy. So what would happen? Think about that. So pause here. What do you think? Right. So this becomes, right? So let's see. So you borrow 1 here, so this becomes a 1, right? And then so you borrow 1 here. Now that becomes a 10, but you lend it to this guy. So this becomes a 9. Okay, so let's continue. So 12 minus 5, that's 7. 9 minus 0 is 9. 1, now again, you got to borrow, but at this stage, you could just do 21 minus 3, right? The 21, right? Minus 3, that's 18. And there you have it, 18.979. Okay, now take a look at the last. Let me erase this first. So here we have 7.005 minus 0.55. Okay, notice how I'm using a lot of subtraction down here because I want you guys to get the practice with the borrowing also. So 5 minus 0 is 5. Now look here. Here you can't borrow from this guy, so you gotta go all the way here to the 7. Right, so you borrow that, now that becomes a 6. This is a 10, but then you borrow another 1, so that becomes a 10. And that makes that a 9, okay? So 5 minus 0 is 5, 10 minus 5 is 5, 9 minus 5 is 4, 6 minus 0 is 6, 6.455. Okay, all right, so that's it. Thank you very much for watching. Good, all right, under 10 minutes again. All right, so that's a success. So let's stop this. All right, thanks for watching. Have a good one.
OMG, that was so good.